The new 4th generation Toyota Kluger has landed in Australia, bearing fresh styling, new technology and safety, and a hybrid option for the first time. On paper, it has all the makings of a family-friendly 7-seat SUV. Let's see how that translates to reality. On sale abroad since 2019, Australian consumers have had to wait 2 long years for the 4th generation Kluger to hit showrooms. But it does so this month, making quite a statement, adopting Toyota's latest TNGA platform and introducing larger proportions, more tech and hybrid power for the first time. The starting price for the 9-variant Kluger range is up by almost $3,000. That's for the front-drive V6 petrol GX. Entry into the hybrid range that is expected to dominate sales starts at $54,000 for the GX Hybrid all-wheel drive model driven here. Well, what a huge step forward in terms of interior presentation. The 4th generation Kluger is much better resolved in terms of its layout, in terms of its technology, and just its general convenience as well. Gone is the predecessor's clunky foot-operated park brake, makes way for a new electric park brake. There's all sorts of new technology as well. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, 5 USB points across the first 2 rows, and air vent access to all 3 rows as well. There's no child seat anchor points in the rearmost seats, but space is generous across all 3 rows. It's a really well resolved space. It ticks all the important boxes for families. There's additional safety across the new Kluger range, including road sign assist, emergency steering assist, and intersection turn assistance, among many other features. Now, with all that said, there is no doubt that the biggest improvement with the 4th generation Kluger is the way that it drives. That extension in wheelbase, the new TNGA platform, the wider front and rear tracks all conspire to make this a much more poised and much more refined on-road proposition. It means that there's none of the occasional heaving and pitching that the predecessor used to encounter. It feels much more controlled on the road and, dare I say it, a bit more enjoyable behind the wheel as well. Although hybrid versions of the Kluger tip the scales at more than 2 tonnes, the truth is it still feels approachable and user-friendly. New multi-link front and rear suspension ensures smoother passage on all surfaces, while light low-speed steering and a suite of in-car cameras help offset the Kluger's longer 4.96 metre length. There's definitely more intent with the way that the Kluger drives. There's much more accuracy and finesse to the steering. It sits flatter through corners, and the big undulations that are common on these B-grade roads that I'm driving at the moment, it soaks them up. There's no more pitching and wallowing and moving around in a way that tended to induce car sickness in the old vehicle. It now feels more controlled. It soaks them up. The car sits flat on all surfaces, and outside noise is really well insulated compared to the previous vehicle. The big talking point is the hybrid drivetrain, which teams a 2.5-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine with 3 electric motors to deliver a maximum combined output of 184 kilowatts and an official fuel average of 5.6 litres per 100 k's claimed. Not surprisingly, given how popular it's been in the Camry, the RAV4 and other Toyota variants, it is the hybrid Kluger that really makes a headline statement. We've done about 100 kilometres of driving so far. The magic figure that we've arrived at, 6 litres per 100 k's, which is quite incredible for a large 2-tonne plus vehicle. The hybrid, like those other models, works really effectively. You've got battery power from low RPM to get the car up and moving, and when the 2.5-litre 4-cylinder engine does have to chime in, it does so fairly benignly and effectively. Of course, being such a small engine, do ask a little bit more of the petrol, and it can become quite audible from within inside the cabin, and it's never going to set any new land speed records, but the system works really well. It's really well suited to the Kluger's size. I think the only question mark that remains is how it would cope with a full load of 7 people and all their luggage. Thankfully, the hybrid version of the Kluger imposes no real compromise in terms of packaging. other than a 3 litre smaller fuel tank. Elsewhere, the Kluger's longer proportions have liberated an additional 30mm in passenger space, which is said to be concentrated on the third row. The cabin space feels contemporary and full of storage options, also fit with decent materials that go some way in justifying the higher purchase price. Reaffirming the Kluger's family-friendly appeal is a full-size spare wheel, 5-year warranty and the option of cap price servicing, which amounts to $250 every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres.
I've got to say, quite impressed with our first impression of the 4th generation Toyota Kluger. Huge leaps forward in terms of technology, styling, safety, but most of all, driving dynamics. It feels as though this is a real breakthrough for Toyota's 7-seat SUV. It's enjoyable to drive, it's refined, and it's poised on the road. Can't see any reason why it won't be a huge sales success.